Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hi, hello, welcome to another episode of Here Comes a New Challenger, a fighting game podcast. This is a little bit different. We have three people with us today. I am, of course, one of the three, Garrett, the host, and I am joined by Mr. Troy.
Howdy.
Since Austin's not here, you actually get to do howdy.
Skull.
And I'll have him steal it from you like he normally does. And we got a new person, a new challenger, and his name is Beau.
Greetings.
Yeah, so before we start with the usual stuff, I'm going to go ahead and pick your brain for a little bit. So when did you start getting into fighting games?
Well, honestly, probably my first experience really getting in depth with fighting games was probably back in high school. Started getting in around the time Mortal Kombat 10 came out. And then I was the head of my school's video game club, so we ended up having a few tournaments for Smash and the like. And then that's how I started getting into Skullgirls, because somebody brought that up as a suggestion. Then part I really dove deep was I went to a local Gundam night with my friend at a local hobby shop. And they had a setup for Gundam Extreme Versus. And me and him had never touched this game before, didn't know anything about it. And we just had some members of the local scene there who were like, come on, give it a try. And we loved it so much that we both imported copies of the game. And then once college rolled around, I went to club to kind of try and poach a few people into playing Gundam Versus with me, and that exposed me to the wider fighting game community.
Yeah, some of my buddies are really into Gundam Versus. They were doing that new beta for the new one coming out.
Yeah, it comes out end of this month, I believe, July 30th.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I think I'll probably give it a shot when it comes out.
Oh, I'll pick it up again, play a few rounds with my old bud. Though I feel my enjoyment of the series has kind of fallen to the wayside a bit. I don't know. Maybe I'll get back in it a bit more with this newer game, because it's a bit more like Extreme Versus compared to PS4 Versus, which I didn't enjoy as much because it wasn't as fast paced. But yeah, I'll probably play that a bit when it comes out.
Hell yeah. I will only play that one if they add the best Gundam character, two of the best Gundam characters, Hathaway and Quest.
Hathaway was in Extreme Versus.
Well then, I gotta play one of the best Gundam characters
So he
ever.
will probably be in Maxi Boost, considering that's pretty much just an updated version of Extreme Versus.
Hathaway's fine. It's just Quest.
Yeah.
You can make Quest.
They're both just terrible.
They're not
Hathaway's
great.
getting his own movie, so it's fine.
He's getting his own like trilogy or something.
Yeah, it's a series, I believe.
Yeah.
It'll probably be like a series of like 3 or 4 OVAs that might later be cut up into pieces and doled out as an anime. Who knows?
Can't wait for the Quest miniseries soon.
That hopefully never.
Yeah, her and Halfway to me are like the worst parts of Char's Counterattack when me and Troy went to go see that in theaters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, you know what? Char's making some really good points.
Maybe Space Hitler is onto something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Sieg Zion.
You know, he's onto something about getting rid of all of those normie Earthlings.
My
Their
favorite
souls
part.
are just weighed down by gravity. They can't understand.
My favorite part is when Amuro is like, Char, how could you do that to Quest? She treated you, or she thought of you like her father. And he was like, yeah, I thought there was something I thought she was annoying. Or I thought that's what was annoying about her.
Yeah. Char's had some great lines over the years. Probably my favorite, and the one that gets memed the most, comes from Zeta Gundam. And it's when Amuro and Char see each other for the first time since 0079, and Amuro just goes, "Why are you here?" And Char's response is, "I came to Earth to laugh in your face."
Thank you, Char. Very cool.
Char is a good boy.
He's just a Chad. It's fine. Not a good boy, no, but a Chad.
He gets the morally gray pass for being attractive.
Are they hot? Yep. Morally gray.
Listen, the Super Beast is onto something when they said that.
I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Alright, so, oops. Since we're gonna do what we normally do, which is talk about what we've been playing recently. So, Mr. Troy, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Smite, as my Discord has probably been showing me for the past 2 weeks. Right now they have that Avatar: The Last Airbender event along with the Korra, so all I've been doing is just grinding for that Korra skin, playing matches 24/7 when I have a day off. And then recently I started getting back into Uni. Last time I played BB Tag with James, I was telling him like how no character has really clicked with me. And I was kind of like having a dying interest in the game. It was like, you should just play Hyde. He's like way cooler in Uni. So I've been trying that out, and yeah, I'm probably going to be a Hyde main now. His combos just kind of click a lot easier. That and his Rekka loops are baby easy compared to the BB Tag ones.
I could never get them figured out in Uni, actually.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying like how someone told you time it with the first, the second, the third. Yeah. That's like really helped. You just wait for him to say the full one, because if you do it early, he'll say first, second, third. No, you have to do the whole first, second, third, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like, but compared to BB Tag, dude, they're like much better, because BB Tag you have to do it off as a specific starter, and it has to be like max range of a FAR 5 AAA, and then you just have to hell delay the last one. It's weird.
You know, because it's the optimal BNB in that game, you know?
No. Stop.
I don't think we brought it up in the podcast yet, so I had to.
That's like, it's still a trigger phrase, even though it was like almost a year ago.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Cause that's like 1.5, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was like one of my first times at a free tournament, and I was watching the VOD for it. I was like, huh, I guess I don't know how to play Hyde because I didn't do a Rekka loop.
But now it turns out that you're not supposed to do Rekka loops as Hyde.
Like, the only thing they're really good for is the corner carry, but the damage you get off of it is not great. If you want to do like the cool Hyde combos, you do the pogo loops, but even those are like more of a DP punish because it's an awkward starter. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of boring in BB Tag, but I still love him.
Yeah, I feel that, especially with it just sucks because in Tag, like, his scaling is so bad.
Yeah. But I mean, he does all that chip.
Yeah.
He does so much chip now in 2.0. It's just like, I don't care anymore. It's like, I dare you to block.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair little trade-off, I guess.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
still has mix. He just has to actually work for it. You have to actually know how to stagger, and then like your 5A and 2A are your jump cancelables. So you kind of just like 5B, 2A jump cancel, like go over them and then backdash or air backdash and do JB because JB can just cross up. And it's so nice. It's just not like can't mix like other characters like I guess.
Or fucking Narukami.
No.
Yeah.
With everyone's favorite 5BB.
It's not like can. That one's super reactable. Narukami's just like a mid dispenser who has Shmix, but his Shmix is also like have to work for it. Like he has it built into his auto combo, but that one's like, bro, you can just DP that one. Or just
Nah, it comes out too fast.
It's basically an instant overhead. You're right. My bad.
It's too hard. He's broken now.
How can
Yeah.
you ever defeat it? There's no way.
Narukami's literally top 1.
Honestly, he might be. No memes. He might be.
I mean, he's really good now, yeah, after they did all the
He's for sure
reworks.
top tier. Like I'm not gonna like he's yeah. Oh yeah, he's always been my main, and it's like before I think he was probably just the hardest Shoto to play in the game, and now he's just like I hate to say it because again he's my main, but yeah, he's kind of brain dead, but he's so good and he's still so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get 2 Raging Lions now,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
instead of just 1.
Just make it plus, throw EX Zeo, and then do Raging Lion, and just keep doing it. So good. So dumb. But those were my games of the week.
Hell yeah. What about you, Mr. Beau?
Well, I've stuck to my normal grind of doing FF14 every day. Because I'm trying to get everything to the level cap before the next patch comes out. Getting pretty close, so I'm happy about that. Played a bit of Skullgirls earlier in the week and some Street Fighter V. I picked up Skullgirls again fairly recently because of EVO Online. But even after that whole thing, I'm continuing to play it a little bit just because I want to get better with it. I originally, back in the day, when I started playing, was playing Valentine solo. Though now I have switched to the big boys of Beowulf and Big Band.
Let's go.
'Cause I think Beowulf has really been the first grappler I'm interested in, because he's a bit faster than a normal grappler. Like, he's not super slow like Geef.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't even like feel like a grappler. Like he has
Yeah.
the command grabs, but he feels like so much more. Like the grappling or the command grabs just happen to be in his kit.
Yeah. And everything comes out of his normal grab, which is nice.
Yeah.
Considering I'm bad and struggle with 720 motions.
Big Sam. Yeah.
And then I've been getting more into Big Band, because how can you not want to play Big Band?
Back on the beat.
And I tried picking him up back in the day, but I struggled. At that time, I was struggling too much with his charge motions. And I still struggle with charge characters to this day, because I'm never 100% sure of the timing. I think I've got it down to Big Band, where if he takes 2 steps back, so about like 1.5 seconds, that's good. But I still struggle them sometimes, except the problem is I love charge characters. Almost always. Like, I play Guile in Street Fighter V, and Street Fighter in general. And I play Big Band, and I play Batista in Unist.
I have no idea how anyone plays Batista. That it's too big brain for me. She has like 6 different charge motions.
Yeah, it's a lot. I play her very casually. I typically switch between her and like Akatsuki. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun recently. Getting some more B&B, getting used to the B&B with uh, big bands. That's a long B&B, by the way. It's like 20 hits.
Yeah, are you going off the one in the wiki by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our other members, because I was having trouble with that B&B for a while, he showed me this other one. He has two, so like one's mid-screen, so I guess not technically in B&B, but one mid-screen and one corner, and they both do more damage than the one in the wiki, and they're way easier to do.
All right.
I'll send you the link to it later, but it has helped me a lot.
I would appreciate it. And then aside from a little bit of playing around with Ghost of Tsushima, that has been my week.
Hell yeah. Let me just real quick. Okay, so honestly, with mine, I've talked about it a lot on the other podcast I was on 2 days ago, which is the Kurocast. That will be on. That's on Blackjack's Patreon right now, and if you pay $5, you just get it right now, for like an early access thing. The big reason why is because that thing is really, really long. So I went super in depth over there of what I did, because I was like 3 hours long, I think. So definitely check out that when it comes out on everything eventually. Or pay $5 and get it early access.
But what did you play?
What did I play? Well, I did some more streaming today of Yik.
I still have no idea what that game is, and I watched you play a little bit of
I'm
it.
scared to watch that highlight video you uploaded.
There's like two of them, and they're both really good. They're both really well edited.
Because just every bit of content I've seen about that game, it's like I remember seeing a meme once about, I think it was like, it wasn't even about Yik, it was about Borderlands on the Switch, and it was like a pop-up that said, please connect to the PlayStation Store to continue playing. And then just on the background, on the guy's main page, he had Y2K download, and everybody in the replies was like, why are you playing that garbage?
Yeah, it's an indie RPG. Its full name is Y2K, a postmodern RPG. So you can tell that, it's very smart and very, very well crafted with its name.
Forgot to drop that S in there.
Yeah, don't worry. Everyone else calls it Yik because the 2 is Roman numerals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The creator always does mention that at the beginning of the game, where they're like, it's pronounced Y2K, not Yik, even though everyone calls it that.
Yeah, no.
The creator thought it would be a good idea, and it's dumb. It's like, yeah, it's dumb. That doesn't make it any better because you mentioned that it's dumb.
It's very much like Dragon Ball Fighters, where everybody calls it Fighters, but Bandai Namco was like, no, it is Fighter Z.
Yeah, it's just, oof. I don't get it, man. Like, it's called that, but it's also awful because it's an RPG with minigame things like Paper Mario, which sounds fun on paper, but then every single thing is like a WarioWare micro game that takes 30 seconds.
Oh no.
The random encounters just take forever because of that.
So, what is the premise of the game?
So, you play as Alex, who is a college graduate.
Oh boys, hold on. Is this a game about hipsters?
Yes.
Boy.
And he is a liberal arts major.
And
he is
I knew it was coming.
And now he is looking for a job in 1999. And he comes across a girl who goes missing, and then he goes off on a quest to find her.
Wait, why is this a postmodern RPG?
Probably because of the term postmodernism, I think, but I don't even know if it fits in this context.
Oh,
I don't know,
I don't know
man.
why it's called that. I think it is because
just because somebody wanted it to sound smart.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It just sounds like this whole game was created because the dude really wanted to sound like he was a smart boy, and because so they're super smart and they can show that get it. This RPG is supposed to be subversive, even though it's really not. It doesn't do anything that's subversive. Like the idea is like, oh man, we have an asshole main character. Guess what? That's not subversive.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not
That's
Pilgrim work.
super common.
Yeah, it's like, man, if that's never happened in an RPG except for
It's never
Cecil,
happened before.
except
Cloud
for
was
Cecil
not
at
an
the beginning
asshole.
and Cloud at the beginning, and um, there's more. There's so much more. Or like Geralt.
So you're doing this why?
Because so I bought it forever ago on PS4, like last year, on sale, and I played about 4 hours and I gave up. And I
Sounds like
figured-
me with a Divisible.
And I figured if this game goes on sale again, since I have a better laptop, I will buy it and I will stream it so I can actually finish it. And it got on sale for a relatively decent price, so I bought it, and now I am streaming it, and I'm like 10 hours in, and I hate it.
So as you should know, Garrett is a video game masochist, and that should have just summed it up.
Oh, I do remember that much.
I mean, I only played like some, but it's weird because my friends are like, oh yeah, I buy games to laugh at them. I'm like, I don't do that. The only game I've done that recently has been with Yick. Because I want to enjoy my time that I'm using. I don't want to play a 20-hour game though, like I hate this, but I have to with this one. And I'm too far gone now to just give up.
It's a Stockholm syndrome.
Basically, and I've also learned today that you can speed up the combat. The game never tells you that.
Oh boy, is it like hidden under like 3 layers of options or something?
No, it's
'Cause
you hold down the right trigger.
Oh.
The game never tells you that.
Oh,
I figured that out today by looking at an FAQ to find out how to solve a puzzle in a dungeon because I gave up. And it's like, how do I speed it
Like a
up? It's
true
like, oh,
hero.
if you hold down the right trigger or press the enter key, you can speed up combat. I'm like, how come this game never told me that?
because he wants you to savor every moment.
Like, the
Is this
really
a solo developed game or?
before this, I fought a mimic that had like so much health that took like 5 to 10 minutes to beat.
Oh god, that's
and
awful.
that would have like saved so much goddamn time if I could have held down the enter key or right trigger, but I didn't know because the game literally never told me. Ugh. And now my friend created an emote in his Discord for Yick not poggers. And it's just Alex's face screaming.
That's pretty good.
So
That sounds classy.
It's gonna be a good time.
I wish you good luck. If it seems like you are going to die, the back out machine is always there.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I'm gonna try to see if I can survive. There we go.
I was about to say.
No, because I wanna. Because like this time I played like sub 2 hours because I usually try to go for 2.5, but that dungeon just fried my brain and I just hated it. Because also in that dungeon I ran into a bunch of cameos from other games published by Yazurb Games. Where I saw the little robot from 2064 Read-Only Memories.
Oh yeah.
And he was there, and he was like, oh man, they don't have any Turing here. Guess I'll have to get a different drink. It's like, okay, that's not okay, whatever. And you know who was right next to him? Jill
Was it
Stingray. Yeah, Jill Stingray from Valhalla. A good game.
That is a good game.
And I
recently got my physical edition of that for the Switch.
Yeah, and I had to do a fucking quest where I had to go to beat up some monster dudes to get her Bronson extract so she can make a gut punch.
Nice.
I don't know, I'm just like, I hate this, because she doesn't even sound like Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the personality of the writing just isn't there. Like, she's being way too polite to be Jill.
Mm-hmm. She's not slightly stuck up
No,
and
she's not.
quiet
There's no snark.
and moody.
Yeah, no, there's no snark at all. She says, let's mix drinks and save lives. I'm like, oh, I know that. But that's it.
So it's the Ready Player One version of Jill,
Yeah.
where it's like where you can point and go, I know that thing, and then there's nothing more to it than that.
Yeah. She is the Iron Giant of Yik. God damn it. Yeah, so I did that. I played a little bit of Soulcalibur 6 today, which I'll talk about soon. Because that is the topic today of Soulcalibur.
It was Uni.
No.
What have I been playing Uni for?
I thought we were talking about Gundam.
Oh no.
Why did you invite me on this?
Don't worry about it. If I told
We're making
you-
last minute changes. It's now Gundam. Make your Gundam waifu tier list.
Crossbones at the top. That's it.
I don't know any of
The
them.
Gundam, not the series.
Tequila Gundam.
Oh fuck, that was mine.
And then the windmill one right below that. And then the fish one right below that. And I don't know.
These top tier Gundam waifus.
Don't worry, I've looked at pictures. I'm a Gundam genius. Yeah, so I did that. Finished up Dead Space, like I said last week. I started Danganronpa 2 today because I have like a bunch of days off in a row, so I might as well start on another visual novel. I've only played an hour of it, so I don't have a super strong opinion on it, but I do like some of the gameplay changes that were made from 1 to 2.
Mhm.
I am very in the middle between characters in this game. There's a few that I really like the designs of. I think Ibuki looks great, as does Peko, I believe is her name. The Ultimate Swordsman's pretty nice. I hate the Ultimate Chef, though,
Oh.
because I'm like, oh, because everyone else I've been talking to, like, oh, I hate this character. I'm like, oh, maybe I won't hate this character. Maybe I'll think he's okay. No.
Yeah, no, he's
Immediately he starts being terrible, because the second you start talking to him, he's like, yo, so do you think these people are just closet sluts?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I know why
Yeah,
people don't like him.
he's that guy.
Like, immediately I understood why people don't like him, because Hifumi took a hot minute. That took like a few chapters for me to be like, oh, I don't like you at all.
Mhm.
But the Hanamura is just immediately like, oh, I hate you, I want you to die. And I'm guessing I'm not supposed to hate him. I feel like I'm supposed to hate a character which I can't say who it is, because it's spoilers for Danganronpa 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Give me some
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And then the Yakuza, Ultimate Yakuza. I feel like I'm supposed to hate them because they're assholes towards the main character, but like, no, not compared to fucking what do you think they're wearing though?
Yeah, no, there are some scattered throughout each game. There's like, okay, you need to go,
Yeah.
you're fine. I don't know why people say you need to go. That person needs to go, though.
Yeah, I want him to go to horny jail forever. He does not deserve to see the light of day. I don't like him. But the chances are, if it's anything like Hifumi, I'm stuck with him for about 15 hours. So, that's going to be cool.
2 is a good one. I really enjoy that one. I still need to go back and finish Danganronpa 3 at some point, because I started it, but I had literally just played the entire series over the course of 2 weeks prior,
Yeah,
and so it was really burnt out.
I think, I know my friends say that V3 is like the best one for them.
It's much longer than the
Yeah.
others. I've heard it's like 50 plus hours.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like 20, Danganronpa 1's like 20-ish, 2 is like 30-ish, and then you go to 3, which is like 40 or 50. Like, if
Well,
just continue
once you
to get
finish 2, you
through.
can conclude the story by watching the anime.
Yeah, the anime that everybody likes.
Yeah.
the good anime. That's totally not a train wreck or anything. Don't worry, it's good.
Don't worry.
Hey man, the Danganronpa anime was my introduction to the series. So.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, the original Danganronpa anime isn't too bad. It just has that problem of, you experience so much more through the gameplay.
Yeah,
Than the
also
anime.
doesn't help. It was also like A1 Pictures, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
That'll also explain why, because you have like a relatively low budget anime studio working on it.
Like, the unfortunate thing is just with the game, you don't get to experience the, or with the anime, you don't get to experience.
I actually haven't touched the anime. I've just heard that like if you do that, the character designs just don't translate super well into animation.
They do not.
And that they're much better as the sprite work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just one of those cases where it's like just watching the anime doesn't get you that full experience simply because, you're not actually going around solving the mysteries and getting the clues and piecing everything together.
You're piecing together in your head while everyone else is
You're
doing
just
it for you.
You're just watching the debate as opposed to taking part of it. It's very much like the Phoenix Wright anime in that respect.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm liking the first hour that I played of DR2 so far. I'll definitely be playing more in the next few days. Hopefully I can finish it up by sometime in August and then take about another month off and then go into 3.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the ending of 1 just like fried my brain. I'm like, I need to take a break before I jump right in.
Oh yeah, there's gonna need to be some time, especially considering how 3 is produced, in that you need to watch the episodes in a very specific order. You need to watch like it was really weird. There's basically 2 sides of the story. One that takes place before the worst thing that humanity, whatever it's called, happens, and one that happens and it's actually the continuation of the story. And so it's like you watch one episode of the story continuation, then you watch one episode of the pre-apocalypse situation, then you go back and forth between those 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think they just call it the worst.
But they're each titled. It's like 24 episodes total, but they're each titled like episode 1.
Oh boy.
So it's like you have to watch Side Hope and Side Despair. It's really awkward viewing experience.
Yeah, ooh, that sounds really awkward. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Yeah, I think it's just called like the worst event humanity's ever saw or whatever, like worst catastrophe.
Yeah, something like that.
It's something super vague and you don't know what happened.
You have no idea until you watch that anime.
And I'm like, I still don't know what happened. Or
yeah, no. Until you get to that anime, it's never really explained.
I don't know what happened with what the most tragic event of human history is. I just know that it happened.
It happened.
So whatever, I guess we're doing Souls storytelling here. This thing happened. I'm not gonna
figure it
explain
out.
To you, but
are you going to give me the tools to figure it out? No.
Put the pieces together. Here's a puzzle piece. Here's puzzle pieces to make a puzzle, but you have like 8 out of 10. But they still want you to finish the puzzle.
And you need to build the puzzle upside down with only one arm.
Yeah, that's the only way to make puzzles.
There's just no other way.
Yeah, impossible. I don't know what else I did this week, actually. I think everything that I talked to, I finished, this isn't video game related, but I did finish Brand New Animal.
That's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
That is a fun time.
Yeah, it's really good, and one of my friends, Blackjack, kept calling it Promare 2 before I started watching. I'm like, I don't know what he means by that. And then I got to like the last episode, I'm like, oh yeah, this is literally just Promare 2. So if you like Promare, you'll probably like fucking... What shit? That was my phone.
Well...
Time to edit that out.
I'm in Studio Trigger, and it looks pretty, so I'm giving it a chance. Like, it looks cute.
Much like I will give that cyberpunk anime a chance.
Yeah.
It will get one chance.
Yeah, but yeah, Burn Animal's really good. It's cute. There's a lot of great characters in it. And Shiro is really great. And he's Detective Dog Wolfman. Michiru
As
is
he
cute.
should be.
Tanuki Girl.
That reminds me, I need to catch up on my Shonen Jumps that released today.
And then
Oh, same. Oh.
and then Alan is fantastic. I love him. But anyway, now that's all of the way. So, what's your guys' opinions on the Soulcalibur series?
It's pretty good. Pretty enjoyable.
Soulcalibur 6 was like I'd always been getting into fighting games, but Soulcalibur 6 is probably like the first one I really got into. So I like it. And then play 5. I played a little bit of 4, but I didn't really know what I was doing in it.
Yeah, it's really weird because my experience of the Soulcalibur series has literally been only the even ones.
So you played 2, 4, and 6,
Yeah.
but you haven't played 1.
Yeah. I played a little bit of 1 and 5, but I don't own them is the thing.
Yeah.
So, like,
I used to have 5 back in the day.
Yeah, the experience the most experience I've had with Soulcalibur has been 2, 4, and 6. So it's really weird because those are all the ones with all the guest characters, while 1 and 3 don't really have any, and then 5 has 1. But yeah, I think the series in general is really great. I think it's an interesting take on 3D combat because it came out around the time of Tekken. I was like, yo, what if we do?
What if we did Tekken but with swords?
Yeah, because that's basically what it is in terms of general style. Granted, it doesn't play anything. They play completely different, but it's the same in terms of like it's a 3D arena, but it's not like a 3D arena fighter.
It's definitely like I've always said it's definitely a good primer for Tekken. Or vice versa. Tekken could be a good primer for Soulcalibur, but that doesn't discount it as its own game. It's both of them play really well, but both of them kind of will help you get into or learn how to play the other.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because like I think Soulcalibur in some ways is a little bit easier to understand than Tekken, but at the same time, it's also more complicated.
Yeah, it's got its own sets of stuff.
Yeah. Especially with like holding buttons and like difference between tapping and holding, which I don't think Tekken does a whole lot.
Yeah. And then as opposed to Tekken, where you have a button mapped to every limb, now it's okay, you have vertical slash and horizontal slash and kick.
And then it also depends on like how long you hold down this button, or in this combination of buttons, like which one you're holding down the longest. It makes it a bit more difficult for me personally to learn multiple characters.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, it's really hard to like actually learn from what I'm gathering, but at the very least, it's really easy to like pick a character and have fun at least with Soulcalibur.
Yeah.
I guess the same thing with Tekken, where like if you're not paying attention, you're probably still gonna have a lot of fun, but if you're trying to get into it, you're gonna have a tough time.
Oh yeah.
But luckily,
especially as someone who's brand new to fighting games, who's just one of those people who's like, I have to do everything right at the start. The first thing I have to do is I have to learn how to Korean backdash. And you look at them and go, no. Please stop.
You just gotta learn how to press button.
Just hit button good.
Yeah,
it's just like Devil May Cry, how to go from a style baby to a style beast. Hit the enemy, don't get hit the enemy slightly differently.
Yeah. It's definitely weird too because Soulcalibur started off very much like a lot of other fighting games at the time, where it's like, yeah, we're just gonna throw you out into the wild, learn the game yourself, idiot.
Yeah.
Or
no
like
training
tutorials
modes.
Are super basic and vague.
Tutorial.
I think Soulcalibur 2 had like a few tutorial-based missions in their story mode.
Yeah.
But they never went in depth. It was just like, hey, press this button and you do horizontal.
You know, back in the day, back when fighting game tutorials were just, here's a wall of text to read, and then you press OK, and then we move to the next wall of text to read.
Yeah, I mean, not Tekken 6, Soul Calibur 6 still has, like, the wall of text thing, but I think it's handled a lot better.
Yeah.
Because you can go through because it's all segmented now as, like, here's offense and defense, and you can also look at character-specific stuff.
Mhm.
So they give you little primers for each character, like, oh, here's how you do stuff with 2B. Here's how dash canceling works with them. Here's Yoshimitsu stuff. Here's how you can meter burn with Yoshimitsu.
Mhm.
Instead of just being like, oh, I'm tired. Like Tekken 7, where it's just like, yeah, learn it. Here you go. So in that respect, I think it does a little bit better in terms of like teaching you.
Yeah, in terms of teaching the player.
But
The
then
game
Soul
system.
Calibur's also still missing frame data, which people
Oh,
can see as
yeah.
an issue. So you
Yeah.
have to like look on the internet very hard to find the frame data you're looking for.
Find the pits.
Especially in
Where the
Soul
frame
Calibur,
is.
because it's hard to tell in Soul Calibur when something is unsafe or safe.
Yeah.
It just kind of seems like most things are neutral, but I don't know.
No, that's kind of like when playing the game, it definitely feels like it's a bit of a mash fest. Until like both people know like what they're doing, because you're both kind of just like testing what can I get away with.
Yeah, that's something to think. Another thing I really like too is just the cast is really like it's diversified in terms of who's there. Because like you think with a weapon-based thing, they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, here's everyone has swords and spears and axes and stuff, like the really basic shit. But then you have you have Nightmare and Siegfried who use like great swords, and then you have Ivy who has a whip sword. Like, it's not just here's the very basic weapons. It's like here's all these new cool weapons, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5 did that too with Zwei. I think he had like a really weird like hand sword thing.
Yeah.
It had a stand.
Yeah, he did. I'm struggling to remember it because it has been many years.
I know he has like a wolf
but
stand thing.
I mean, Tira straight up just has
Yeah,
a hoop. Yeah,
Yeah, she's got
It's
the
like
hoop,
but it works.
and then her 2 stances will change how she uses that.
Yeah.
Of course, Keelik. I don't remember if he does it in 6 because I haven't played 6 in a while, but I know in 5 every round he would swap his weapon around.
That was only in 5.
Okay.
Yeah, in 6 he still uses his
He still just uses the staff.
yeah, his staff thing, and then you have like the fucking zombie pirate Cervantes who uses a sword and a gun.
Yeah, the sword and the gun.
It's like a sword gun and a gun, I think.
Yeah, it is.
He has a gun blade and then a gun. Because, you know, you need
Man, I
more
love
guns.
Cervantes.
It's just, like, really unique, just all those characters, especially with, like, they constantly got improved. They got more mechanics added onto each thing. Because I don't think Zazamel had the stop mechanic until 6, if I want to guess. And if he did, I don't remember if he did. And
I don't remember that either. It's definitely a cast that's very interesting to just look at.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely something that would grab people's attention compared to, say, what I have heard when I've talked about Street Fighter with people who don't know about fighting games or who aren't involved with the FGC, and they just go, it's just a bunch of martial arts guys punching each other.
Yeah. But then Soul Calibur, you have, like, Ivy, and you have Yoshimitsu, who I'm very happy is in both Soul Calibur and Tekken, and they're connected.
Yes.
Because it's like ancestors. It's nice. And he's Weirdo Robin Hood in both of them.
Good old Yoshimitsu. He's always a good boy. You just got to get that pogo off, and then you've won the round.
Just gotta land your unblockables. And your weird seppuku thing. Which, if you miss, you delete your health.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You lose like 80% of your life if you miss. But then if you hit, it's like 80% of them or something. It's really nice. There's just that. They've also like been changing mechanics a lot throughout the series, because I know that guard impact was a thing in 2, because I think that's when they started adding the parry mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, for some reason in Soulcalibur 5, I think is when they started making it cost meter.
Yeah, that was around the time, I believe.
It would cost like 8 bar to parry instead of just like being able to parry whenever. And they brought it back in 6, but they made it to where it doesn't cost meter. It just costs your guard gauge technically.
Guard gauge.
So your guard can break if you throw out parry too much, which is a really nice, like, it's still a nice thing because it's no longer a resource that you're like a finite resource.
Mm-hmm.
Because like your guard gauge can always
it's no longer something that you have to like weigh as much.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, do I really want to parry right now, or do I want to do an EX
Don't want
or
to save
super?
for super.
But now you can literally just be like, no, I can parry right now, which I appreciate a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to have more options.
They've added some other stuff as well, I believe.
Are we talking about like the latest update?
Yeah,
Because
they added like a new type of parry as well.
like the 236 is like straight up just everyone has kind of like a pseudo DP now.
Yeah. Then everyone also gets like a new version of the Soul Charge, which is a type of install that everybody gets in Soulcalibur 6. Now everybody gets a attack into install.
Yeah. That's like kind of what I mean. It's not like really DP. It can be for some characters, but it's kind of just helps them like safely get into it.
Yeah, that's definitely a really nice like mechanic too, because like I don't know if a lot of people ever actually used Soul Charge, because it's like, oh, you can just, because it seems like it was purely defensive. Unless you,
I mean,
it's
Ivy at least gets some pretty sick combos off of it. I know Killick's is like you have to be offensive with it. Like Killick as a character is really defensive, kind of just like poking, but when he goes into install, like you're losing health, so like that's kind of like your chance to do some like big damage and be aggressive. It's kind of just like character dependent.
Yeah, but there's also like, for some reason, there's also characters who get their installs anyway, because fuck you, who don't need to spend meter. Like, Nightmare and Siegfried just get it. Specifically Nightmare.
Wait.
Yeah, Nightmare can just like, has some moves that just put him into his install.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, he just gets buffed whenever
It
there's
is
certain moves that just buff him. It's like, alright, that's cool. I don't know if it's the same, if it's the exact same buff, but it's just really annoying to be like, oh man, he hit me with this his burst. Oh no, now he's buffed. Cool.
Yeah,
it's probably a bit of a weaker potency.
Yeah, it's like a different buff because Cassandra kind of has the same thing with like you do certain moves to get her into a sword charge lightning buff, and then she gets like her new moves off of that, but it's not like, you know, her install, like her actual install.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's just how the game handles that. There's another thing too that Soulcalibur is kind of known for outside of the that it's also like their guest characters, which started in 2, which gets me so mad every time I talk to people. I'm like, oh, what's your favorite Soulcalibur? And they tell me, oh, 2. I'm like, oh, how come? And instead of telling me, yeah, I think the game plays really well, or really like how this mechanic works, is like there's links in it.
It's like, well, thank you for your thought. I will take my penny back.
There's usually people who have played like one match of Soulcalibur, like links in it. This one's the best one. It's like, alright, cool, thanks. It's neat because like technically he is like the coolest out of the 3, I would argue. Because it's Link, Link for GameCube, Spawn for Xbox, and Heihachi for PS2.
Spawn doesn't even have his cape.
Yeah, the bummer is that did you guys know who was supposed to be Heihachi on the PS2 version?
No.
It was supposed to be Cloud.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
and then
Cloud
I think
was supposed to be the PS2 guest character, but then the deal like just fell through, so they're just like, okay, they're just putting Heihachi. So that would have been really cool to have a new the big sword guy, and I'm sure like he would fit really well in in that series, he would fit amazingly well. But nope.
Yeah.
Either, but I don't know if it was like a mutual thing, like the deal would sulfur from both ends, or if it was a Squeenix thing, or if it was a Namco thing.
I have a feeling it was from both ends, most likely.
No, it's just wild to see that, just like.
Yeah, would have been really
About
cool to
that,
see how they.
Yeah, to think about
Worked
that. Yeah,
in
the most prolific
Limit
Final
Break.
Fantasy character could have been in Soulcalibur, but now he's not.
Yeah, would have been interesting to see how they work in Limit Break, or if that would have been like a separate install.
I'm sure now, if they could put Cloud in, then they would definitely put in Limit Break as like a little mini meter.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like Smash already did it.
Yeah.
It's pretty. We seen like it's definitely doable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then 3 took a vacation, I think. I think 3 didn't have any guest characters that I know of.
No, 3 did not, I believe.
Yeah, I think 3 was purely here's Soulcalibur characters. Then 4 was really weird. I think 4 is the weirdest.
Yeah, it's...
Because they had the Star Wars characters. They had Yoda, Darth Vader, and Starkiller from Force Unleashed as a promotion for, I think, both Force Unleashed and for Revenge of the Sith.
That was like that game selling point.
Jeez.
For me as a wee lad, seeing Yoda just doing flips around everywhere, I was like, I want to play this game. This is what I
mean,
want.
it was definitely something that got me interested, but at the same time I started playing, I'm like, Yoda's so short. I hate this.
Yoda's the worst to fight because of how small he is.
I feel didn't he get banned like from tournaments? You just couldn't play him.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah, just because it's like. I mean, other Star Wars guest characters were fair game to play because they're normal height.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not Yoda.
Yeah, it's not like Charlotta who has an extended hitbox because of the crown. It's just this is short character in game filled with tall characters.
Yeah, and with very little lows, mind you.
Much like Salty Bet, always bet on tiny character.
Yeah, always bet on Yoda. Yeah, those are the weirdest ones. I do know that 4 was like I think I played 2 when I was younger a lot because I had the Xbox version. Though I didn't play Spawn at all, I played Yoshimitsu on 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I owned 4 for a long time. I never played a lot of Yoda. I played my own character, which was just Yoshimitsu, but blue. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I named him Norris, too, because that was during the time where I thought Chuck Norris was the funniest meme joke thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't play into guest characters for those ones for some reason. I'm sure if I had the PS3 version, I would definitely play Vader. Because I was a big Vader kid. Funnily enough, I do remember seeing, when I was younger, looking at gameplay of Darth Vader, and because I was looking at the move list or whatever, because the guy's going for the move list in the video, I thought that Vader was on a Wii version of the game because of how the font for the punch and the kicks and slashes looked. I'm like, oh, this must be a Wii version because it has this rectangle, and the Wii has rectangles for the B button. And that was literally what I thought as a kid.
Jeez.
But no, there was no Wii version. I mean, there was the Wii
swinging your Wii remote around.
Yeah, no, that did not happen. So Vader was on PS3, and I never messed with him. Though he did come to Xbox later as DLC. And same for Yoda on PS3, I believe. That was definitely the weirdest decision that they've made for guest characters, like by far. And Soulcalibur 4 in general is a very weird Soulcalibur game.
Yeah.
I like playing it, and I still like playing it every once in a while, but it's very, very weird. And I can't put my hands on exactly why it's so weird, but I think the biggest reason is the Star Wars characters and the Star Wars
Yeah, it's just so out of place.
Like...
And I say that, whereas in 6 we have the 2B, who is a robot android from the future.
Yeah, but don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, though.
It's still weird. Then you have 5, and 5 only added Ezio as DLC.
Ezio.
Which, even if you can argue, like, oh, that's such a boring pick, he makes sense.
Yeah.
so it makes perfect sense in the
I was
timeline
starting
sense.
Big Assassin's Creed
Yeah, I
hype
think
train.
Assassin's Creed 2 was out around that time.
Brotherhood was coming out soon.
Yeah, so good marketing push right there. I'm fine with that. That's a Ubisoft guest character for a fighting game. I don't mind. I'm not mad like I am with fucking Warden and Sam Show.
Yeah.
Who is by far seems like the worst character in that game. I hate him. I bought him, so I'm like, I'm gonna see how he feels. He is awful in Sam Show. I hate him. He has 2 moves.
Oh, that's sad.
He has like a shoulder tackle and some other move. He just does not feel good.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, he has a shoulder tackle and a parry, and I think that's it.
Well,
So like
They tried.
those 2 moves. Like
Guess For Honor's not gonna get that resurgence.
unfortunately.
Nope. But yeah, I think as the Ubisoft representative, he's definitely the best choice, and he's fine. I liked playing him when I messed around with him.
I remember when I was playing it, I played him a good amount.
Yeah, it's also just because 5, again, 5 is also a weird one, but not because of how 4 was weird. It was weird because they wanted to do a third strike with it. Where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, here's the new generation of characters, but all of them are terrible.
Yeah, all of them weren't great.
Just
It's
design-wise,
like,
I
look,
don't think I liked
Siegfried
any
is
of
the
them.
old man now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm still gonna play Siegfried.
And I don't think
I don't
liked,
care about this new kid.
Yeah, I don't think I liked any of the new characters. In terms of their design and personality, it's like, whatever. I just want the old ones. Yoshimitsu was the only one I was okay with, because who cares? It's Yoshimitsu. He's just gonna be a
It's
dude.
Yoshimitsu.
He's just gonna be a dude wearing a mask, so who cares? I do know that good old fashioned Yoshimitsu had like a clockwood hand in that game. That was pretty neat.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and there's a little, you see his clock hand moving around, like with the gears and stuff, and that's really cool. What else? So I think that's it with 5. I really don't have anything to say about 5 other than it's a weird one. And I want Don Pierre back.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the big weirdo in that game, who is the joke character, because he has like the hidden blade things that Ezio has, but he's a dork.
And he's always like running away and if I remember correctly, wasn't his like super like a counter super, and he was like cowering for his life, and then your character misses their attack or something, and then he starts beating on them.
Yeah, something like that. It's really dumb, but I love it.
He makes a good joke character.
I want him back, but I don't think he'll ever come back.
He's a good Dan.
He'll never come back, but I can dream. And then after 5, it's like they went dormant for like half a decade, basically. If not a full decade, like nearly a decade. Yeah, and then Soulcalibur 6 came out like 2 years ago, I think.
Was it already 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I think it was 2018.
Like September,
Yeah.
I think it was.
September, October.
Yeah. Soulcalibur 5 released in 2012, so that's about 6 years.
Yeah, so that's insane. Like, just that big of a gap, and I can definitely tell, because there's just a lot of effort and love that went into 6 that just seems like 5 didn't really have. 6 is a soft reboot. It's like weird. It's like a sequel, but a soft reboot still. All the characters are back. All the old ones, basically. There's some old ones that didn't come back.
All the ones you want.
All the ones that you care about, I should say, are back. They brought back some newer ones from 4, 5, and 6, because Hilda was originally from either 3 or 4.
I think she was 4? Yeah.
And then she's now back with a cool little crown. It still plays roughly the same, which is pretty cool. So not everything from 4 and 5 is forfeit. And then they added like 3 guest characters in this one, which I'm very okay with. Because the main selling point originally was Geralt. Which, like Ezio, it's like, yeah, you can argue that that's such a lame character choice, but it still fits.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a fucking Monster Hunter dude with magic.
No, yeah, I don't think like I saw anybody that wasn't hyped for
Yeah.
Geralt. Like that was a pretty
Geralt
big deal. Yeah.
Geralt had been working the block too, because he
He's
had
in,
also
Yeah.
he's in Monster Hunter. He's in this
he got the
game.
Monster Hunter Quest.
He's some other stuff. I know he's in other things as well.
Had come out, so everybody was hype over Gwent. Geralt's getting those royalties.
Wasn't he in Assassin's Creed?
Was he?
Or was it that Assassin's Creed was in The Witcher? Maybe I'm thinking Monster Hunter. I might be thinking Monster Hunter.
Yeah, you're
Actually.
thinking of
No, but I don't
Monster
know how
Hunter.
they'd
There
work
was an
him in.
Assassin's Creed quest, I
Yeah.
believe, for Monster Hunter.
I must look this up real quick. I want to make sure. I'm gonna see if I'm being dumb or not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I think you're thinking of Monster Hunter.
Yeah. I probably am.
Which I recently started replaying.
Oh yeah.
That's a good video game, and all my friends play on PC, and I am the one sole PS4 player, so I have to start over.
Mhm.
But enough about that. Back to fight game.
Yeah, Geralt was definitely like a really good choice, and they brought him in really well because they gave him all of his spell stuff, and they made that all of his spells into,
Yeah, they
Meter
had like
burns.
Igni.
which is really neat because they're kind of meter burns in The Witcher because you use like adrenaline or whatever, and that's built up by doing damage.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that really well. They bought both of his swords, both his steel and silver, and they made it to where silver does more damage on enemies that are soul charged,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really neat little gimmick. That
It
you
was
can have
definitely a
for-
great pick,
Yeah.
and they implemented it really well. They really thought out how to best make use of his abilities.
And they definitely did it again with the next one, which was 2B.
I think that
Nier
was-
Automata,
My most hype one.
which is so weird to think about, but then you go into the interviews and you'll get Yoko Taro who's like, yo, I'll put 2B in anything if you give me money. Because he's such a fucking...
Very accurate.
Yeah, because
He will also end whatever he wants to be in.
You know, he's a fucking champ, and I love it. But 2B is also put in amazingly well, because she has a lot of the stuff that she has in Automata. Obviously, she has all of the weapon types,
Mm-hmm.
but she also has like her dash cancels,
Yeah,
which is really cool.
and she's got dodge animation.
yeah, she has all the pod subtypes are in there. You have all the original voice actors coming back to the 2B and pod. It's just like, again, a wonderfully crafted DLC guest character, and then did the same with Haomaru later on. Like, here's an SNK pick, and he plays like a Sam Show character.
As I learned today,
Yeah, because
took fucking 60%.
Much like Terry in Smash, if you just want to play a different game, pick this character.
yeah,
Yeah.
just play Haomaru and fish for B plus K attacks. So you
Just
can
get that heavy slash.
That's all you need. Yeah, and again, Haomaru was also a fantastic character. I don't love him because again, Haomaru is one of my. I don't hate Haomaru. I just think he's all right. You know, he's in the same realm as most protagonist characters. I'm like, man, they're fine.
Just pretty bog standard.
Yeah.
He's a Ryu.
Yeah, they put him in the game because he's the most recognizable Sam Show character. I definitely, in terms of the Sam Show cast, I would have preferred Galford or Hanzo.
God, Galford. I love Galford because he has a dog.
Yeah,
Kinda
Galford would
instantly.
have been really cool, or Hanzo would have been amazing. I would have really liked Jubei. 'Cause he's
Yeah, Jubei.
Jubei's probably my favorite Shoto in that game. I feel like Charlotte probably could have worked really well as well. Just because, you know, you have add Hot Lady Knight into the game to have like a game with like 4 or 5 Hot Lady Knights.
Yep, it would fit really well thematically.
Or, you know, again, like just there's a lot of characters I think they could have added, but Haomaru is fine. I don't mind. I'm not mad. I like playing him, so it's whatever. That definitely also shows SNK's commitment to crossovers, because they've been doing that a lot recently. Because you have all their crossovers in KOF All Star. You have their Center and Kagura thing they did recently, where they added like Kula, Athena, and Leona into a Center and Kagura game. There's some other stuff too recently that happened, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that. With the For Honor thing is a really weird one, but you can tell that SNK just likes doing Terry and everything. So you can just tell that I think SNK just likes doing crossovers. I don't think there's anything like them doing anything, what's it called, you know?
Yeah.
They just like doing crossovers. I don't think, of course, they're doing it for exposure, but I think also they just like doing it.
Yeah, I can imagine. They're finally, like, not in as much of a hole as they used to be.
Yeah, now they can just they're allowed to experiment more and just open up, which is nice.
As opposed to, what company bought them? Was it Tencent?
Tencent, I believe, yeah.
It just was like, no.
Or it's like a subsidiary of Tencent, because either way, they're owned by a Chinese company either way, but I'm pretty sure it's either Tencent or it's a shell company.
I think it's Tencent. But, yeah, once they got bought by Tencent, their skills just went underused.
It's like, what's it called? It's like with Platinum being like, hey, we're not bought out, but like we're getting funding from this company, and they're just letting us do whatever.
And
I think that's what's happening with Samsho, since SNK was in pachinko hell for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, hey, here's money. And so they made KOF 14, Samsho. They also made SNK All-Star, the all-female one, but we don't talk about that game.
One we quietly forget.
Yeah, that game existed. The fighting game running at 30 frames per second on most things.
Yeah, SNK has been doing really well for itself recently, so I'm personally happy that they've been doing a lot of these crossovers, because it just sheds more light on SNK.
Yeah, especially,
company
definitely.
Dear to my heart.
SNK is a very good company, and I like them. Yeah, so there's another thing I want to talk about that we should talk about Soulcalibur that I realized we didn't talk about yet. Character creation.
Oh, of course. We were going to get around to it.
Yeah.
That was added in Soulcalibur 3 originally, and I think it was only... No, you can do it outside of it, but it was mainly for the story mode in that game, which was like a weird RTS fighting game. Not like Guilty Gear 2, but like literally you're RTSing, and then if you want to go into a fighting game mode, you can.
Uh-huh.
Which means it's already better than Guilty Gear 2.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say.
You already got to jump up by actually having a fighting game in your game. But yeah, that was that, and then 4 had it, and each game just kind of made more and more use of it. And then 6 has it to where it's like super like in-depth.
Super in-depth, and it's the reason. It's literally my friend got his copy on release day. I drove him to GameStop. We laughed at the stupid collector's edition box that made sound effects.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's got like a button on the inside you press, and then it'll say like the stage of history and all kinds of little sound bites, and it's so stupid. And the entire reason he bought it was he was like, I don't like the look of the regular box. The steel case is much nicer, but this feature is stupid.
Yeah, I do like a lot of what's it called? Of the character creation. I never use it.
Yeah.
I think I've made like 3 or 4 characters, and all the characters that I have made, I quite literally just look at a guide and I'm like, how do I do this? Because I'm not creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not creative, so it's like, okay, what can I do that's very, very simple but somewhat unique?
Oh, yeah,
okay,
I made one where it's like
I'm just gonna use other people. I'm gonna use Clown 2B.
Yeah, I made one that's really stupid, and I thought it was really funny when I first made it. It's a mummy, but he looks all dapper, and he has like a monocle. And he has, he's Raphael, so he has a rapier, so I just made him Remy, the gentleman mummy. I thought that was really funny.
Why?
I spent the first 5 hours I got the game just in character creation. I just like weebed out. I was just like, I'm gonna make all these anime characters, and it was.
I mean, that's what everybody did.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, me and my friend, we popped in the game, and first thing we did as soon as it was ready to go was, all right, let's go see what dumb stuff people have made.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Fate character. Oh, there's like Ryu. Oh, there's Johnny from Xrd.
Oh man, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I'm not creative enough to actually put effort into it.
Yeah.
Dude, I went like all out with that. I did like Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, and I did like to make it look like he had the actual like Kagane on his back, just do the antler decorations and then flip them upside down so one's going up and one's going upside down, and then just give him like a red pattern on them. Dude, I went like all out with character creation. It's definitely the highlight of me playing.
I think that's everybody's highlight too. If I was more creative, I feel like it would be for me.
There's definitely always like a deep-seated enjoyment. It's like I giggle as I fight with Maxie, but he's Ronald McDonald. It's like, how can I not love that? I wish I could be creative enough to come up with custom characters and costumes and things that just look cool. But I'll just happily use these memes.
Yeah, again, that's really cool. So I guess Troy's only really played a whole lot of 6, so that counts as his. Because I was going to ask what your guys' favorite Soulcalibur was.
I would say...
But I want to say it's like 6 for me, honestly, just because like there's a lot of like chunk meat in there. That and the guest characters are all really nice. The game itself seems like there's a lot of love put into it.
I would also probably say 6, though I do have big attachment to 4.
Mm-hmm.
But that's largely just because of the amount of time that I played it. And the amount of people I knew that had it. It was that and Mortal Kombat 9 were the fighting games that pretty much everybody had.
Yeah, I feel like Mortal Kombat definitely for that for me. I think Soulcalibur not really. There's a few people that I knew that had it, but not a lot.
But when I say everybody, I mean like 20 people, because I went to a small private school with a 40-kid graduating class in middle school.
I think... Yeah, never mind. Yeah, 6 is definitely my favorite, like, hands down.
Yeah, I'd have to say 6 is my favorite, due to just how it feels. I'm having a hard time explaining it. The feeling of how the characters control, and just seeing Soulcalibur after a long time. I know that's a stupid reason to, like, rank it high. It's just because I had nostalgia for the series, and I'm glad to see it back in the limelight, but it's honestly, that's part of it. Just seeing all those old characters again and getting to mess around and do cool stuff in the character creator. Run around and scare my friend as Nightmare because they're used to old Nightmare and how slow he used to be.
He's a fucking demon in that game.
And just go up for the grabs.
Definitely, I think also it's just a return to form, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have, like... Because I feel like I've talked about most 2 out of 5 of the Soulcalibur games being really weird.
Yeah.
I think it's just because they tried to experiment a whole lot, and then 6 is like, well, people like Tekken 7, and Tekken 7 is, like, kind of a return to form for Tekken, so fuck it. Let's do it for 6. And it paid off, I think.
Oh, I believe it definitely did.
We're gonna do a Rap-a-Slappa pretty soon. But before then, I have one more question.
Shoot.
Okay, so, this is all an assumption. Let's assume that Soulcalibur 7 is coming out, right?
Okay.
And John Bandai Namco goes to you and says, "You're pretty cool. We want you to pick a guest character."
Ooh.
So what's a guest character you want to see in Soulcalibur? Here's the only stipulation is that they could not have been from another Soulcalibur game. So no Link,
Okay.
no 2B. Those already happened. And they're not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
After that, other than that, it's fair game. It could be literally whatever. If you wanted Hollow Knight in the game, sure. If you wanted Travis Touchdown, sure. It can be literally any character, even a character that fights with her fist because whatever Heihachi was in Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah,
So anything is,
there's a precedent.
so anything goes.
Easy. The Chad Thundercock himself, Yu Narukami, makes a debut in another game, asserting his Chad dominance.
I don't know how
Izanagi.
his strength
Izanagi.
would work in that game.
Do you remember that time that you fought all those people in that medieval setting? What happened then? Could you tell us that story?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fucking canon if Soul Calibur 7 was a
class
thing. It would be canon.
I was walking to class one day and just, I got pulled into the Velvet Room by Igor.
And he's like, "Yo, you need to go beat up a weird samurai guy." He's kind of
And
big
I said,
right
okay,
now.
because why not?
We went into the wrong TV. Don't know what to tell you.
We went into the one from my house instead of the one at Junis.
They're gonna. I hate that you're right because every single side game that is in the thing is canon.
Yeah, it sure is.
I think BB Tag is the only thing. Is BB Tag canon?
No, not for Persona at least.
Okay,
Persona.
good.
But
So that's the
Arena
only
is
thing.
canon.
Because I know Dancing and Arena are both canon.
Q is canon, but it erases the event
Everyone's
of it.
memory, so whatever.
So who cares? And then Dancing All Night is canon.
I hate that so much. How everything is canon. It's like the 2B thing where it's like Yoko Taro's like, yeah, I know the stage play is canon, the musical is canon,
The musical is canon.
the visual novels are
FF14
canon.
crossover is
Yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 raid is canon. And all this other shit, so it's like if you're gonna be jumping into Nier Replicant, I hope you're ready for some of that shit to be in that game and be confused.
Hey, get ready, son.
Because even though it's a remake of Nier Replicant, guess what? Chances are Yoko Taro is probably gonna be
There'll
like,
be
yeah, here's some
something in
more.
there. You're gonna find even if it's something as simple as you find a pod item on the ground.
Yeah, it's like I hope you're ready to play Sino Alice because that's gonna be canon. You have to learn about Pinocchio being cute, but in
Oh
real life.
god.
I don't know why Pinocchio's cute in that game, but he is, and I hate it. Cause he's not a wood boy. He's like a regular person.
He's like a person.
Yeah. And just in general, like, I don't like that, but I feel like he could work. I think you can definitely add in the Persona Break mechanic into that game, and not like a BB Tag Persona Break where it's like, oh, you take chip damage, like literal. Oh, hey, you hit your Persona got broken 4 times. You can't use it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that can work, and you can make Narukami like a distance demon with his Izanagi, because you can give him imagine Lawnmower in a 3D setting.
Oh jeez.
I'm here for it.
Just hey, you're in a boss battle now. Just
Yeah.
dodge these enemies.
That would be cool.
If John Bamco
Yeah.
walked up to me, I would probably have to say, you know what, this is awful because I just had it and it's gone now. Because I had a few ideas floating around my head.
Do you want me to do mine and you can come back
Go
to it?
ahead, see if I can grab it.
Okay. I was thinking about who I actually wanted. If I'm able to go like full ham and just not care, I would want Jin from Blaze Blue into it. Just give.
Oh, from Blaze Blue,
Yeah.
I was like, but we already have Devil Jin.
No, don't worry about it.
If you create a custom character in Soul Calibur 5.
Yeah, like just literally, adding a Jin from BlazBlue. I think that'd be really cool to have the obnoxious ice mechanics in Soulcalibur. So more of my friends who aren't super into fighting games can get mad at me. Well, gonna have to do some more editing a little bit. But, yeah, that or Cecil from Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah.
I don't
Cecil.
know. You probably can't do a whole lot, but I want Cecil because he's my
It'd
favorite
be
Final
cool to
Fantasy
see
main
it.
character.
I did get my idea back. And my answer is the same one I have for Tekken, and it's put frickin' Kiryu in the game, you cowards.
Yeah.
I want to see him do.
I mean, they
moves.
could do the what's the name of that Yakuza the Yakuza
Dude with an eye patch.
no. The Yakuza game that's takes place in like the 1400s or whatever, and he has a gun. Ishin?
Yeah, it takes place during I think it's Meiji Restoration.
Yeah. Put in Kiryu, but it has to be Ishin Kiryu. So you give him a gun. You give him a sword and a gun.
The gun style. But yeah, much like with Tekken, I think any game that puts Kiryu in could be interesting because Kiryu has a pretty basic moveset, even in the Yakuza games. It's pretty much just a punch, 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 finishing blow. At the end of your combo, but it's when you integrate the heat moves. Like if they found an interesting way to integrate the heat mechanic as like an install or something, I think that'd be epic. I don't know if y'all have ever played a Yakuza game. Garrett, I know you bought.
I bought Yakuza 0 because it was $5. I just haven't started it yet.
But there is literally hundreds of heat moves in that thing. And there are things such as shoving a box of nails into a person's mouth. There is catching a sword in your teeth and then punching the person in the gut. There is slamming a person's head into a car door.
Dude, make that his super.
Yeah,
And that's it.
There's tons of potential. And I think he'd be a great fit for pretty much anything you tried to put him in. So yeah, I definitely have to say Kiryu hands down.
Yeah, so there we go. There's our guest characters that we want, Mr. John Bamco, if you are listening.
Do it, you can.
Yeah, do it. I think that's kind of it for today. It's a little scatterbrained just because like we don't have the full amount of people we normally have. And I still wanted to do something, and I figured Soulcalibur is a relatively, like...
safe topic.
It's safe and small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us are, like... None of us are hardcore professional Soulcalibur players, so we're not going to be able to go into that side how great the mechanics are specifically. But at the very least, we were able to talk about why we like them, why we think they're pretty neat, and all of that.
Yep.
And I don't think I have anything else to add. Do you guys have anything else?
Not particularly, except, even though this podcast is about Soulcalibur, shouts to Capcom, make another JoJo game, you cowards. Make another Heritage for the future, or re-release it.
Easy. I don't know why they haven't, like, this is the perfect time to.
Licensing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know why the license holders aren't, like, letting them do it.
Well, because I think somebody else has the license. Because the 3D the 3D Arena games were not made by Capcom.
Yeah, it was CyberConnect. Ugh.
Yeah, it was CyberConnect. So they are, and I don't know who was actually the license holder, because I imagine CyberConnect was contracted to make the game, but the publisher is somebody else.
Yeah.
Probably Bamco or something.
Yeah, so like Bamco should just like let Capcom re-release it.
Because I'm tired of having to fight Cade.
Yeah, and it's like the perfect time to. Like,
yeah.
You're in the JoJo high.
Part 5 ended last year, and part 6, I believe, has been confirmed to be in production. So yeah, it's a perfect time, especially with all the interesting stuff you could do with characters. Because the thing about Heritage for the Future is it only focuses on characters from part 3. So it's like, well, what if we put in part 4 characters
Yeah.
or part 5 characters? I remember watching a video one time. I don't remember who made it. It was like a small video, but it was like good ideas for JoJo fighting game characters. It's like, okay, what if we made Killer Queen a character, or Yoshikage Kira, or Doppio or something?
Doppio would be cool. Would kind of be like a stance change.
Yeah, or no, not Doppio, Diavolo, but
Yeah,
same thing. But
Yeah.
I remember, I think probably his best idea that I remember hearing was for Kira, and it was because everybody was like, because his main idea when talking about how you would design it was like, okay, how are you going to work Bites the Dust into it? And basically he was like, okay, well, let's work the Bites, because if Bites the Dust actually worked, you'd have to reset the round, right? And so he was like, okay, what if we make it so you can't activate Bites the Dust until maybe like 20 seconds have passed or something? And if you activate it, you reset the round, but you can't use your stand anymore. So now you're going to take chip damage from everything, and most of your options for combat are gone. And if you hit the point on the clock at which you activated Bites the Dust, the opponent instantly loses, which would be, again, like a pretty awful thing to put in the game, but like, with the counter of not having your stand, so most of your options are gone,
Yeah.
it's a gamble, and you can always cower it out by calling Killer Queen back, but then you can't win with the timeout anymore.
Yeah, Megan Flame one. I do want another that, and either like it's either Capcom coming back to do it, or just like, I don't know, like I guess Arxis is the go-to. But
Yeah, Arxis. Well, I think I already have an idea of what their next.
Yeah.
It's dependent, but I remember there was like an interview from a few years back where they were like, "Yeah, we would love to do a Fate fighting game at some point."
Yeah, if they do a Fate one, I do want them to do. I want Team Blue to do it, but I'm sure they're just gonna give the team who's been working on like Dragon Ball and Grand Blue instead of, because that's not technically Team Red, but it's like a weird subsidiary type thing, and they're probably gonna give it to them and be like, do the Guilty Gear art style for it again instead of using your gorgeous sprites that you never use anymore.
I don't know. I think they might. I think Team Blue would do good work on it.
I just wanted to do sprites again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the
Those
new
good old
sprites they
classic
added
sprites.
to BB Tag all look fantastic. Like all the Ruby sprites look amazing in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird seeing all the Ruby sprites and then seeing the like Under Night sprites. Even though now they're like updated and
Now they're updated, but before they weren't.
Yeah, no. Not
Back in the day, it was like looking at Morrigan in any Capcom fighter ever, because we just used the same sprite for everything.
Yeah, and they still do that with the BlazBlue characters. Sadly,
Yeah.
they're all still the same like HD sprites that they made in 08, which still look good. Like that's kind
They
of
still look good.
that's the
but it's
thing.
like-
But like you
it's-
can tell that looking at
they're a
them
bit
and then
more
looking at
quality.
like Under Night right next to them, or comparing to literally anything else, it's like, oh, all
Mhm.
right.
It's like they're about on the same level of quality as P4 Arena, but then you see Under Night, and then you see the Ruby sprites, and you're like, okay, these are obviously a bit higher quality.
Yeah, I want them to update their sprites eventually. I'm sure
Hopefully.
they will with the next BlazBlue game, because they've said that they want to do more BlazBlue, I think, and that the next one is just going to be like a new thing, because Central Fiction
It'll-
was the last
It'll be
one.
it'll be the
technically.
third strike of Blaze
Yeah,
Blue.
basically, because they've said that Central Fiction was the last one for the Azure Saga, or like the last one for Ragna's story.
Mhm.
So they can totally just do, here's a new one, and now Naoto's the main character or something.
Yeah.
So they could easily just do that. And bring in Subakumen and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you have options.
Then I wouldn't feel weird about playing Hakumen.
You don't like that he's Jin?
No.
Why not? What's wrong?
Jin. I don't like Jin.
What's wrong? He just wants to kill his brother.
Yeah,
There's
What's
the
wrong
whole
with that?
borderline. I don't know, incest stuff going on. He's kind of an incel. He's fun to play though. That's it though. That's all I can say.
Can't believe Troy doesn't like the
yeah. I can't believe you don't
Dante
like
Virgil
the.
relationship.
I can't believe you don't like the murder yandere incest wife who has Mondo.
I know, crazy to believe. I guess I'm just not like the other FGC players.
Literally everyone hates Jin though, but me. Like I'm the only person that likes Jin.
I don't like Jin.
I'm the only person. I don't think James likes Jin. Austin doesn't. I vividly remember killing Hakumen for Austin because I told him about him being Jin, Hakumen being Jin.
Yeah.
Like so many people hate Jin in the FGC. Like I'm like the only person that's like, oh, Jin's really cool. I like him.
He could be cool. I think he's fun to play and his kid's cool, but then as a character, I'm just like, God, I don't like him.
Yeah, that's fair. Even if you were wrong.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it better be.
No, it's alright. I don't even care.
Are we gonna have a problem?
Just like discount Virgil. It's okay. It's alright.
You're not wrong. I'm not gonna deny that.
Why would you?
There's just more Virgil in my life, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that.
I don't think anybody would complain about more Virgil in their life,
Yeah.
except that one guy.
Dave.
No, I just remember reading a Scrub quote one time. It was just like, I'm laughing because I'm at a tournament right now and my friend is getting so mad because because he's playing Virgil against my friend, and my friend barely has played UMVC3, and he's getting wrecked by this Virgil, and this big black guy is just going, get fucked, white boy, get fucked, get motivated. Get motivated, white boy.
Yeah, that's a classic. Anyway, I believe that it's time for us to head out. As we have told you, Soulcalibur is good. I do think Soulcalibur 6 is worth picking up on a discount.
It is good game.
Yeah, definitely. It usually goes on sale whenever Namco has a publishing sale or
Just like
game
once
sale.
every other month.
Yeah, so like every other month it goes on sale for like $20, and I think it's worth picking up then, especially. DLC characters I think are worth picking up, but definitely like wait for those to go on sale because they are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like Haomaru ran me like $8, I think.
Yeah, I think some of the older ones are like $5 a pop.
I think so. It depends. I know season 2, all the characters are really expensive. So definitely wait for a discount for those as well. But I do think it's worth picking up and playing, especially if you're creative.
Mm-hmm. At least they'll get discounts, unlike Gundam.
Yeah, fair.
20 DLC suits, $5 each.
What a good deal. Anyway, this has been Here Comes a New Challenger. You were talked to, or listened to, I don't know, by Mr. Beau?
Hello.
Mr. Probius Troy?
Good boy.
And then me, the host, Garrett. Yeah. If you like listening to us, keep listening to us. Next week will be something different. I don't know. I'll figure that out. I am just tired because usually weeks with 2 podcasts, I usually die by the end of it. But
that's understand.
You know what? I'm still have fun with both of these. So see you guys next time.